Welcome to Monday, April 29th, 2024. It's the last Monday of April. This week is going to bring more active spring weather to the region as the weather pattern is going to be still busy. The Pacific is still throwing fronts and weather systems. It'll go across the Pacific Northwest, the Northern Rockies, into the Plain States. So this is going to keep us in a busy weather pattern. So we're in the time of year where it's a time of contrast with the weather. And boy, did we see that over the last 4 to 5 days, late last week and over the weekend. And that's going to be real evident when I show you all the photos that have been submitted. Just a wide variety of weather that you get as the seasons change around here, including beautiful wildflowers. You have beautiful wildflowers, then you have tornadoes. It's just a season, the time of year where there's just a lot of activity. And this week, we're going to have several fast-moving storm systems come across the Pacific through the region about every 2 or 3 days. So this will keep the weather pattern busy. We don't see one consolidated storm, just several systems coming on through. So the best way to describe the weather is unsettled. It's just not going to settle into one pattern in particular for more than a day or two. This is going to keep any big warming trend stifled. So while it did look like last week we'd have a nice warm up this week, not so much. Temperatures are going to have a hard time at least staying warm for more than a day. So this means more rain and thunder on the plains. We're going to have more opportunities for spring snows in the higher elevations. And I'm afraid to say, with these systems continuing to come from the Pacific, moving quickly through, the contrast of air masses will bring more severe weather to the nation's midsection this week. And we just fabulous photos come in from, first of all, we'll go through the thunderstorms and the strong weather that we had late last week. We had a great shot of mammatus clouds here in Casper, and then near Farson, strong thunderstorm activity across many areas of western and southwestern areas of Wyoming as the weather began to change. Great Kelvin-Helmholtz clouds there this weekend in the Laramie Valley, showing the turbulence in the atmosphere and the spring season really roaring pretty hard. And snow in the mountains, rain on the plains, and great shot there out of Laramie, snow in the snowy range, but just dry conditions. Well, let's say the snow staying away from accumulating much too low. But in parts of Colorado, boy, those snow levels really got low. In fact, down to 5,000 feet in the Denver area, right underneath that pressure center of low pressure that stalled over Colorado for a good part of Saturday before moving out. There's a incredible, beautiful shot there out of Rocky Mountain National Park after the storm came on through. So we had the severe weather, then we had the snow, then as the sun came out yesterday, we had showers and thunderstorms pop up in some areas as the heat of the day came on, and that produced our first real good rainbow photos of the season. Look at those rainbow shots, double rainbow there, another rainbow shot all the way up into the Bighorn Basin. So those pictures really told the story of the last 4 to 5 days in this region. And then we ended the day with a nice sunset in many areas. Now, as we go into the satellite imagery, you can see that swirl. Boy, you can really see it right here. West of British Columbia, strong, moist Pacific jet stream winds just remain. And as long as they do, and they're going to be for a couple of weeks, this is a breeding ground for weather, a breeding ground for low pressure systems. And they're just going to want to continue to enter the west. Now, this is nothing unusual. This is spring, where we have a contrast between the warmer temperatures at the lower latitudes, still the colder temperatures at the higher latitudes. You have an active jet stream and you're going to produce spring storms. Here's the storm that caused so many problems this weekend with severe weather in the Midwest. It's moving now into the upper Great Lakes, and you can see it on the 500 millibar chart there. You can see the low that we just showed you up into British Columbia, and more storm systems back up across the Aleutians. So this is the same kind of look that we've showed you here for the last week or two, and it's going to look the same going in the week ahead. So I'm going to step you through the days ahead, and you'll see these systems not becoming large or strong, but small, quick-moving systems. So this is today. This is by noon tomorrow. We've got another trough settling into the northern Rockies. This is by Thursday. This is going to be a pretty good front coming on through the region. Here's another system coming in right behind it, and that's going to settle in by Saturday, and then by Sunday, it's going to be sending a front through the northern Rockies and the northern plains. And then look what's up here. It just reloads. This is just a breeding ground that's going to stay for a bit longer. So these are just going to keep coming. So when you get a pattern like this, you're just not going to settle into anything where strong high pressure's got a chance to move in for several days. So this is spring. Back and forth, the pendulum will swing. To show you kind of what will happen with the chances of precipitation, since we don't have one particular organized storm, several little systems, you can see that this is between today and Friday. You can see that the central and northern Rockies are going to have the best chance, and into the northern plains and the Pacific Northwest, of being wet. This is not a terribly wet pattern, but the frequency, the opportunities for off and on chances of showers and thunderstorms on the plains, off and on chances of snow showers in the high country will be with us for this work week and probably into the upcoming weekend as well. This will keep temperatures cold enough that snow levels will be still having an opportunity to at least a little bit, a few snowflakes getting down into the lower elevations of parts of Wyoming and Montana, Idaho, parts of northwest Colorado, and you can see that the high country is still going to have some opportunities for wet snow. And these are the 5-day temperature anomalies. If you add up today and all the way through Friday, you can see all the blue here. Anywhere to the north and west of this line, temperatures are going to be on the whole below average, with the warmer temperatures above average staying down to the south. So we're not going to have that warm up. If we look at the risk of severe weather, this is for today. The green shading showing general thunderstorm chances, the darker green, the higher risk. So things are going to settle down a bit today. We don't have that enhanced risk of severe weather. However, as those Pacific Northwest lows come across the northern tier and then come like this, dragging fronts through, we have tomorrow, the severe weather risk goes right back up again. And look where it's centered. It's centered in the exact same areas that were hit Friday and Saturday. So that is not a good look when it comes to severe weather in the Midwest. And that's the following day. So this is Tuesday. This is for Wednesday. So there's more severe weather coming. Actually, the severe weather season was off to a fairly slow start until last week. And now it's really ramping up again. Have yourself a good Monday. We'll see you Tuesday.